finally found a way to make a ratcheting sequence that is synchronizable with MIDI. I don't know why I didn't do that before, because it's quite fun. Apparently, I could not figure out how to do it. First, I'm going to make a basic patch. I'm going to take this oscillator here with a Q106, an oscillator from synthesizers.com, and the output from the sawtooth into the input of the state variable filter. State variable filter, I'm going to take the low pass. This is a very basic patch. In VCA over here, a Q108 VCA amplifier. This VCA is going into my sound card. Let's see. Turn down the initial gain. Okay, and now for the envelope generator. I'm going to use them two basic envelope generators. So I need to mult the gate. And this gate is going to come from the sequencer over here. So I'm going to take the gate output from the first row of the sequencer and plug it into the mult over here. Well, this mult is going to trigger both envelope generator. If I start the sequence, you can see they are activated. Okay. One envelope generator will go into the control input of the VCA. And the other envelope generator is going to go into the CV control of the filter. Okay, this is a bit boring. I'm going to take the CV out of the sequencer of the first row into the 1 volt per octave in the oscillator. Now there's some kind of sequence already there. Okay, that works. So in order to make a ratchet, I would take the output of a pulse oscillator in a low frequency, for the example, it's going to be this oscillator. So the pulse out is triggering now the envelope generator. If I move the frequency of this oscillator, okay, so I can use this oscillator to fire up the envelope generator. But what if I take the gate out of my first row and plug it into the hard sink of the pulse oscillator? So that means that when I start the sequencer, it's going to fire up the pulse. I have kind of a ratchet already. There's a sweet spot here of pulse width and the frequency. See, if the pulse width, if that frequency is too low, it won't fire up the envelope generator. And also, if the pulse width is not at the sweet spot, it won't fire up the envelope generator. I don't know what the science in it is, but you know, it works. What if now I change the frequency of that pulse with the same sequencer but a different row? Okay, so now I'm taking the third row out. I'm going to put it into the CV in of the pulse oscillator that triggers the envelope generator. So now I have nothing. The sequence have no voltage out. It's all zero. Let's say if I go, oh. So if I raise one step at this step, it's gonna ratchet. It's gonna make the oscillator go faster, actually. And now for making it go with MIDI, well, I have to do the old trick. I already have a MIDI interface here that is synced to the clock. This is just a clock to MIDI clock to clock converter. I'm gonna use this to sync my sequencer. Okay, clock out into the shift inputs. Okay? Now to make sure it's sync, I'm gonna start a kick drum. So now the whole thing is synced to MIDI with